brothers. Ain't no discrimination. No respect is person.
No respect is a liquor.
You feel me?
No respect is a strong.
Right. Hey, get your ass out the way. Go on. Go on. All right. It's Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. It is Friday, the Lashawan Qadash class, where we get into our native tongue, our history, all lining it down, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using our linguistics, our language. Lashawan, which is tongue, Qadash is holy. Put it together when you have the holy tongue, all right? We're going to start off every class like we start off every class with the alphabet. So if you could repeat after me. Da, ha, wa, za, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, to z, qua, ruh, sh, and the. All right. Move the Zoom. And check to make sure that we're live on the line, please. Anybody? Don't matter. Okay. All right. We're going to pick up where we left off. All right. So we were talking about possessions. All right. So you have an absolute possessive, you have a singular possessive. All right. So a possession has to deal with a preposition. All right. So what is a preposition? A preposition is a adposition class of words used to express spatial or temporal relations or mark various semantic roles. All right. So it expresses a spatial, right? So spatial has to do with something that's dealing with the room, that is within your circumference, within your area, right? Or temporal. Temporal has to do with time. All right. So you have time and space. All right. Then it has related marked with semantic roles, right? So that's basically masculine or feminine, dealing with first, second, and third person, whether it's he or she. All right. So So we gave a couple of examples, right? So we have a prepositional phrase, right? Which is la yatazakak, right? Which is a prepositional phrase deals with a direct or an indirect object, right? In a sentence. In this case is yatazakak, right? Which is Isaac, right? So love, all right, is a possession, right? Because when you possess something, you said what? Okay, all right, no sweat. When you have a possession means that you have ownership, right? So we have to Isaac, right? Because la as a prefix is to or for, both indicate possession, right? All right, and then we have an object of the preposition, which is yatazakwak, right? Which is Isaac, okay? So the object of the preposition, which is a direct object, right, for the prepositional phrase, all right? So the difference between, so you have an object of a preposition, right? So this is something that the preposition is making reference to, which is the subject matter of a sentence, right? So if you ever read in the Bible, and he said, right? It's making reference to the object of the preposition, which is the subject matter of the sentence. All right. So make sure you have this copy down. We're going to practice a couple of things before we get into identifying what is a single, an absolute, or a plural possession. All right. You got it down?
I can go back on the class.
All right. No sweat. You know, you can screenshot. You know what I'm saying? Take a snapshot. Or if you're online, please be kind and rewind. All right. Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So that's dealing with the preposition. All right. So let's erase this. All right. So next, we will define what a construct is. Okay. All right. All right. So we have a construct. All right. Literally means what it means to build something. All right. So a construct is. Oh, starting to come apart. All right. A construct is when two or more nouns appear together by a juxtaposition. All right, so from previous classes, does anybody remember what a juxtaposition is in Hebrew? You see it all the time when you read, all the time. Anybody? Young man Ryan, your grum, top.
I'm guessing. So you say is now you mean you're reading Hebrew or in an actual word?
Period.
So okay, so for some words that are pieced together with that under,
Dash.
is that what that is? A
Right.
juxtaposition?
Right. So a juxtaposition is represented by a dash between two words. It lets you know that these two words are closely related to one another. Yes.
Whenever you read in the Syrian, it has the I, then it has the I, and then it leads on to another word.
Right. So, but in that case, it's not two words, right? I'll give you an example. Let's see, go to Psalms 83. All right. So in Psalms 83, where you see all Tashaquat, that little under right there, that's the representative of that dash, right? If you want to pass it around. All right. So anytime when you're reading and you see that dash, it's in representative of two. Now, well, in this case, we're talking about a construct. A construct is a juxtaposition between two nouns. That's a construct, right? I'm going to give you an example of that, right? But that is not the only time that you see a juxtaposition. You can see a juxtaposition with a verb and a noun. You can see a juxtaposition with an adverb and a noun, right? So, all right, so let's get into a couple of examples. All right. right. So here we have the bar, Ayash. All right. First off, what does the bar mean? Go ahead.
A word.
That is correct. What is Ayash?
Oh man.
That is correct. All right. So before we get into the transliteration, let's go down and break down how this is a construct within the juxtaposition. All right. So let's give you the formula. All right. So all right. So a construct is when two or more nouns appear together in a juxtaposition. All right. So a juxtaposition is the dash, right? That is this bad boy right here. All right. We have the noun. All right. Now, what makes it a construct is when you have two nouns together tied by juxtaposition. This makes this a whole construct. All right. Now, you have an indirect object or noun and a direct object or noun in this sentence. Which one is the indirect? Which one is the direct object?
The indirect is the bar.
That is correct. All right. So we're going to put... Okay, and which one is the direct? Which one's direct?
Oh, the other.
What's the other one?
Ayash.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So we said that the bar means what?
Word.
And Ayash means what?
Man.
All right. So go ahead.
Yes, sir. So can you explain why a word will be indirect and why a word will be direct?
Explain what?
In the construct of and when two nouns are together in a juxtaposition, what makes one indirect and one direct?
Okay, so it's just like in a sentence, right? If I said, if I said, Tapazar, lacham, right? So lacham is bread, Tapazar is you, right? The two nouns in a sentence, right? Two objects in a sentence, right? But one is a more dominant noun, right? So even though bread is a noun, it's an object, right? Okay. Now remember when we were dealing with prepositions, which we're going to get into, the bar is a word. In this case, it's spatial, right? So it's dealing with the word of something, right? Even though word is an object, that it's being done by something. Go ahead.
So basically, whatever you can draw emphasis from, or it has implication,
Right.
That's when it becomes indirect. But
Right.
The personage of like man.
Right.
So okay, I understand.
It's almost. I mean, it's almost like a subject and a predicate, but in this case, it's two subjects. One is dominant and one is possessive, right? So if I didn't want to put this dash here and I wanted to represent it as something else, right? I would say Ayash Madabar, right? Word of the man, right? But this is also what this is, so you don't have to put a necessary prefix because the word is of the man because they're closely related, right? So you wouldn't be like Ayash, you wouldn't be like Ayash, the bar, you'd be like, you wouldn't be like the bar Ayash, you'd be the bar Ayash, right? So that's how you would say it.
Okay.
You wouldn't distinguish it as when you're reading as two separate words, but you would kind of join it together as you're speaking. All right. Okay. So with these two together with the juxtaposition, it wouldn't be word man, it would be word of man, because this word is closely related to this man by this juxtaposition. All right. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right. Now we're going to learn the difference between absolute singular and absolute plural when you're dealing with building a construct. All right. So the indirect object, as we've established, is the bar. Right. All right. So let's find out how we're going to make it absolute versus absolute plural. All right. So as it is right now, the bar is absolute singular. All right. So how do we make this word absolute plural? All right. So it would go from all right. So it would go from the bar to the bar yum. All right. So what does yum mean? Sis? Right. It's like adding the S to the end of a word. All right. So this is absolute plural. All right. Now, there are other ways of making a word plural, in some cases without yum, right? For instance, right? Malak is singular, but Malak Wath is plural, right? But it's a plural feminization, right? Just like Ak or Akwath, but Malakwath means kingdom, right? But the reason why it's plural and it's a feminization, pluralization, is because a kingdom is subject to the king. All right. So that's one off of a rare instance. All right. So Let's do another example. All right. I'll leave this here. All right. So we have another construct. All right. So the first word is mayum. All right. What does mayum mean?
Water.
Means what?
Water. No, that's a yum. That's right. No, keep going. You said water. Water.
Right. It means waters. All right. Why does it mean waters? Why is it waters and not water?
There's a yum at the end.
Okay. So this makes this an absolute what?
Pluralization.
That is correct. Get that brother a hand.
That's right.
All right. So, of course, this is waters. All right. And I'll use another color. It is ab plural. All right. Next word we have here is idon. All right. What does idon mean? Take a guess. Idon. What does it sound like?
I die. I do. I die.
Okay. First word is waters.
I die and I want.
Second word is idon.
Drink.
Nope. Okay, so a construct is when two or more nouns appear together by juxtaposition.
Is it air?
No. It is definitely a noun, and it has to do with waters. I'll give you a hint. Genesis chapter 2. Adam was placed eastward in.
Oh, okay. All right, Don, so I'm gonna let you do that. I know.
Adam was placed eastward in. We just went over this. We just went over this on Monday. Where was Adam placed in? It's what?
Eden.
That is correct. It is Eden. All right. Okay. So my Idan would translate to no. Okay. If the bar Ayash is word of man, my Idan would be
The waters of Eden.
waters of Eden. Right?
It's not the waters of Eden.
If it was the waters of Eden, it would be Hamayan Adan. Because Ha would be the prefix, that would be the.
Common concept.
All right. All right. And pop quiz for those that have been paying attention in class. What are the waters of Eden?
The 4 rivers.
What are they today?
Are they four?
What are the names of them today?
Is it still called the Euphrates?
Hmm?
The Euphrates. I don't know what it's called today. I know one was Hittite.
What is all right? So you have the Euphrates. What is Pison?
Tigris?
Yes.
I don't know the other ones.
The other one is the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden.
Red Sea.
Right. Okay. So those are the waters of Eden. That is what frames the Garden of Eden. Right. It literally, it makes it a freaking square. Right. Okay. Those are the waters of Eden. All right. We're going to do one more. One second. Okay. All right. So we have I.S.U.P.K. What does I.S.U.P.K mean?
Salaki, sir, means woman.
That is correct. All right. So that means that Ayash means
Woman of man.
or. That is correct. Or what is another word for Aisha? No.
Wife.
Correct. All right. So can we translate to woman of man, wife of husband, or wife of man? All right. There's no Hebrew word for wife. Wife is the same word for woman, right? Because if I said La Mariam Tabazar, Mariam is for Tabazar, right? Okay, that means that she is your wife. So I would say La Shah Tabazar, all right? Because this woman is for Tabazar. That is your wife, right? It is possessive, right? There's no word for wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you my woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even now, like in English, we don't say wife. We be like, that's my shawty, you know what I'm saying? My gal, you know what I'm saying? My woman. We even say that's my real. You know what I'm saying? I said that in the world before I came into the truth. Right? Things that are possessive of me. All right. Okay. So remember, a juxtaposition, a construct is dealing with where two or more nouns are joined together by juxtaposition. All right. So we gave a couple of examples. One, Aisha, Ayash, woman of man, or wife of husband, or wife of man. And then Mayam Idan, which is waters of Eden. All right. Now, let's see, what time is it? Man, time be going by fast. All right. We're going to do a quick little pop quiz. See if y'all been paying attention. right. So, I'm going to play a little game called Name That Noun. I'm not going to say anything. Y'all going to tell me what it is. What's this word?
Lachon.
All right.
Bread.
You said it means what?
Bread.
All right. Now, is it absolute singular or absolute plural? Is it? Is it?
Prefix.
Lacum is singular. Lacum on the bottom is the absolute, or is a pluralization. Or am I reading that wrong?
No, it's the same word. Look up. It's the same word.
Oh, it's in a Syrian. Okay, so lacum is singular then.
All right. Why? Okay.
How would you, Salaki, sir? How would you say? Well, we don't say breads.
Right.
So
So
bread can mean a lot or one.
it can be both singular or plural. That's a trick question. Hey man, y'all got some breads?
That was a good one.
All right, so this one can be either have singular or have plural based off of what? Huh?
What you saying?
What's another word of saying that?
Use?
No, based off of, we say it's Christians all the time.
Context. So
Thank you.
context.
Thank you. All right. So it can be absolute singular or absolute plural based off of context. All right. Okay. All right. So what is the next word? Nope, you answered that one already. Somebody else. What's the next word? Read it.
Ya.
Nope. What's the second letter?
Oh, Bana ya. Bana ya.
Okay, this is connected together. The ba and the na. So that means that's what?
Ban yam.
All right. Okay. All right. So we have banium. Give him a hand. All right. What does banium mean?
Benjamin.
No. What is bond?
Oh, Salaki, sons.
That is correct. Give him a hand. Why is it sons and not son?
Because ban will be singular. The yam makes it plural.
That is correct. All right. So this is what makes it plural. So that would make this absolute what?
Pluralization.
That is correct. Give him a hand. All right. What is the next word? Come on, Middle War.
Yah.
It's what?
Yah.
That is correct. Give him a hand. What does yad mean?
It means hand.
Good.
Hey,
Hand. All right. It means hand. All right. So that would be absolute what?
Hand plural. I mean, singular.
That is correct. Give him a hand. All right. Plural would be yadium. You know what I'm saying? They get out of line. You tell them Nathan Yadium. I'm gonna give you these hands. Anya Nathan Yadium. I'm gonna give you these hands. You know what I'm saying? Who's that? Who's that? Was that Ezekiel that said if you come back around here again, I'm gonna lay hands on you? Nehemiah, yeah. Yeah, Nehemiah was gangster, man. I said, you come to these gates one more time on the Sabbath, I'm gonna lay hands on you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get the yadium. You know what I'm saying? All right. What is the last one? Young man Ryan. Should be able to look at your notes and decipher it. It's a word that was used previously. Put your hand down. Young man Ryan gonna get this one.
Ayash.
That is incorrect.
Hold on. Word.
All right, don't look at the paper. Look at the board. All right, what's the first letter?
First letter is Yah.
That is incorrect.
What's up?
That is incorrect.
Let me see.
What's the first letter?
The first letter is Ah.
That is incorrect. That does not look like this. That's not I. Say, what is the first letter in the word? In this word, what is the first letter in this word right here?
Yeah.
This letter right here.
Da.
That is da. All right. What is the second letter? Salaki. All right. What is the third letter?
Third letter is Ra.
Okay. What is the fourth letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tabaraya.
That is not correct. All right. So, remember these things right here? These are to help you sound out. If it's in open parentheses, you sound it out exactly how the alphabet is. If it's a closed parentheses, that means these two sounds are joined together. All right? So, first sound is. Okay, now we have a ba and a ra, but they're joined together, so that would make it. All right, and then we have the last letter.
Yeah.
All right, so put it together.
Tabaraya. Tabara.
No.
Da. Bara.
No.
Da. Bara.
No. The ba and the ra are together, so that would be what?
The board.
All right, so.
Da. Baraya.
Thank you. Give him a hand. I'm gonna learn to read today. right. What does this mean? Young man Ryan. What does Dabaria mean? You don't? What does Dabar mean? Look at your notes. It was the first example given.
Word.
It means what?
Word.
All right. So we've established the root word, which is actually Dabar, which means word. But we have Yah right here. We have a suffix. So what does Yah as a suffix mean? Look at the board. Means what?
My.
All right, means mine. So Dabaria means what?
My word.
All right. So is this absolute singular or absolute plural?
Singular.
Why?
No S. My words. My before I am.
But why is it singular?
Because it's possessive.
Okay, it's possessive, but in what context? How is it possessive?
Because whoever word it belongs to is my.
What perspective is
First
it?
person.
That is correct. That's why. All right. So the way that you can establish the type of first to determine the type of objective it is, right? Whether it's indirective or a direct object, and also to determine whether it's absolute, singular, plural is the same thing. Context, right, and perspective. Okay, all right. So because it's my word, first person shooter, it's one person, so it's singular, right? Now, if I said the bar wa, what would that be? His word, right? So what person would that make it? So I'm talking to you.
Second person.
No, I'm talking to you. So I'm saying Tapazar, the borrower. So am I talking about Tapazar's word?
No.
Am I talking about my word?
Third person.
Third person.
Okay.
So that would make it what? Absolute?
Absolute plural.
That is correct. All right, but in this case, it is absolute singular. All right, so it's important for you guys to get used to reading, right? The reason why the connectors are there is to help you sound out the words, right? Until you can get accustomed to seeing this enough to where when you see this, you see this. All right? That's why it's always important for you to write the Assyrian and the Paleo together. Now, don't get it twisted. When you read a Paleo manuscript, that's not going to be there. Right? Just like it's not there for the Assyrian, right? Those are put there strictly as guide markers for you. Okay? So when you get, the more and more you see the word, it's just etched in stone in your mind. Okay? All right. Homework. You got this? You got these down? All right. All right. So this is your homework. All right. So for your homework, you have a word. I'm going to tell you what the word is. You're going to not only tell me the meaning of the word, but you're also going to write phonetically how to sound out the word as well. You're going to tell me whether it's absolute singular or absolute plural. So, number one, I'm not going to say what that word is, but you've been in Hebrew Academy, you should definitely know what that word is. Number two, you have the meaning of the word heaven. All right. Number three, you have a word. I'm not going to tell you what it means. All right. You're going to have to give me the meaning. It's absolute singular, absolute plural. And then you have number four, mountains. All right. You're going to have to give me the word in Paleo and in Assyrian. All right. So this is your homework. This must be done because you're going to be called to the board next class, brother. So with that, we're going to say Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakathum to the brothers, and Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Thun Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah to the sisters. And we go.